You think you're just having a conversation. Maybe it's a date. Maybe it's a casual chat. Maybe it's a moment that seems harmless. But beneath the surface, there's a game unfolding. A game most men don't even realize they're playing. Every word, every glance, every subtle challenge is a move on a chessboard you never agreed to step onto. And here's the brutal truth. If you don't know the rules, you're already losing. Mainstream advice tells you to just be yourself, to stay honest, to not overthink it. But what if I told you that's exactly what keeps most men stuck, confused and powerless? What if I told you that women's so-called tests aren't random or meaningless? They're calculated, instinctive power plays designed to reveal who's in control. The difference between those who pass and those who fail isn't luck or looks. It's strategy. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm going to show you the Machiavellian secrets to passing any test with ease, flipping the script, and commanding respect without ever breaking a sweat. Because once you see the game for what it is, you'll never be played again. Let's dive in. Let's get one thing straight. Women don't test men because they're bored, cruel, or looking for drama. The truth is far more complex and far more strategic. These so-called tests are hardwired into human psychology, shaped by thousands of years of evolution and the relentless pursuit of power and security. If you've ever wondered why a woman suddenly challenges your opinion, teases you, or throws a curveball question your way, it's not random. It's a subconscious screening process, a way to separate the strong from the weak, the leaders from the followers. Mainstream dating advice will tell you to ignore these moments, to brush them off, or worse, to appease and please. But here's the hidden truth. Every test is a window into her instincts. Deep down, she's searching for signals, signs that you're confident, unshakable, and capable of holding your own in a world that's anything but gentle. It's not about being mean or manipulative. It's about survival. In the wild, the male who buckles under pressure is a liability. In modern life, the man who can't handle a little psychological heat is just as quickly dismissed. Think about it. When she playfully mocks your ambition, questions your choices, or pushes your boundaries, she's not just making conversation. She's probing for weakness. She wants to know, can you handle challenge? Will you stand your ground or will you fold? Most men fail these tests without even realizing it. They get defensive, they apologize, they try to win approval, and in doing so, they reveal exactly what she's looking for: insecurity. But here's where the Machiavellian edge comes in. The men who thrive in these moments don't see tests as threats. They see them as opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate composure, wit, and self-respect. Opportunities to flip the script and show that they're not just another pawn on the board, but a player who knows the game. Understanding the psychology behind these tests is the first step to mastering them. Once you see the hidden motives, you can stop reacting and start responding with intention. And that's when the power dynamic shifts permanently. Now, let's break down the most common tests you'll face and why most men fall right into the trap. If you've ever walked away from a conversation with a woman feeling unsettled, second-guessing what just happened, chances are you've just been tested. These moments aren't accidents, they're deliberate, even if she's not consciously aware of it. Let's break down the 5 most common tests women use, why they matter, and how most men unknowingly fail them. Test number 1, the tease or insult. It starts innocently enough. Maybe she pokes fun at your outfit, your job, or your taste in music. You actually like that band. Wow, I didn't peg you for someone with such unique taste. Most men make the fatal mistake of getting defensive or trying to justify themselves. They might laugh nervously, apologize, or even try to change the subject. But here's the truth. She's not looking for an apology. She's looking for strength. The man who laughs it off or playfully teases back shows he's unshaken, while the one who crumbles reveals insecurity. Test number 2, the last-minute change. You've made plans, and suddenly she wants to reschedule or throws in a last-minute twist. Actually, can we meet an hour later? Most men scramble to accommodate, eager to please and afraid to lose the opportunity. But this is a test of boundaries. The man who calmly asserts his own schedule, or at least doesn't bend over backward, signals self-respect. The man who drops everything, he's just shown he'll sacrifice his priorities for hers. Never a position of power. Test number 3, the jealousy trigger. She mentions another guy, maybe an ex, maybe a coworker, maybe just a friend. My friend Mark is hilarious. He always makes me laugh. The average guy's response. He gets jealous, tries to one-up Mark, or starts interrogating her. But this is a test of emotional control. The Machiavellian man doesn't flinch. He might even play along, showing he's secure enough not to be threatened. The moment you show jealousy, you've lost the frame. Test number 4. The challenge to your opinion. She disagrees with something you say, sometimes aggressively. You really believe that? That's ridiculous. Most men backpedal, soften their stance, or try to win her approval. But she's not looking for agreement. She's looking for conviction. The man who stands by his beliefs, without getting angry or defensive, demonstrates backbone. The man who wavers, he's just failed the test. Test number 5. The push for commitment or reaction. She asks where things are going, or pushes for a label early on. So what are we? Most men panic, either rushing to commit or dodging the question awkwardly. But this is a test of composure and clarity. The man who answers honestly, without pressure or fear, shows he's in control of his emotions and intentions. Most men fail these tests because they're operating on autopilot, desperate for approval or afraid of rocking the boat. But every test is a chance to show strength, not submission. Now that you know what to look for, let's talk about why words alone aren't enough and how your mindset determines whether you pass or fail. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You can memorize every clever comeback, every witty retort, every so-called alpha line in the book, and still lose. Why? Because power isn't just about what you say. It's about how you say it, and more importantly, the energy you bring into every interaction. This is where most men get it wrong. They think passing a woman's test is about having the perfect script, but women are experts at reading subtext. They sense hesitation, insecurity, and neediness long before you ever open your mouth. This is where the Machiavellian mindset comes in. At its core, it's about frame control. In every social interaction, there's a silent battle for dominance, a contest to see whose reality will shape the conversation. This is what's known as a frame battle. If you're constantly reacting to her, seeking her approval, or letting her dictate the terms, you've already lost. Your words become empty, no matter how sharp they sound. A true Machiavellian doesn't just respond, he sets the tone. He walks into every situation with the unshakable belief that his perspective is the default. He's not rattled by teasing, last-minute changes, or challenges to his opinions, because his sense of self isn't up for negotiation. This isn't arrogance. It's psychological sovereignty. When you own your frame, you become immune to manipulation. You stop playing defense and start playing offense. Think about the difference between a king and a court jester. The jester might have all the jokes, but everyone knows who really holds the power. The king's authority isn't in his words. It's in his presence, his certainty, his refusal to be pulled off center. That's the energy you need to bring to every test. Because when your mindset is solid, your words naturally follow. You don't need to force confidence. It radiates from you. So before you worry about what to say, focus on who you are when you say it. Master your frame, and you'll find that most tests dissolve before they even begin. Now let's get tactical. Here are the exact phrases and responses that, when delivered from the right mindset, flip the power dynamic in your favor every single time. Now we get to the part you've been waiting for. The exact words to use when you're tested. But remember, these aren't magic spells. Their power comes from the mindset you bring to the table, delivered with composure and self-respect. These responses don't just neutralize her tests. They flip the script, making you the one in control. Let's break down each of the 5 common tests. You with Machiavellian responses that command respect. Test number 1, the tease or insult. She says, "You actually like that band." That's interesting. Most guys get defensive or try to justify their taste. Here's the Machiavellian move. Smile, hold eye contact, and say, "Of course I do. I've got great taste. One day you'll catch up." Or, "I like what I like. I don't need a fan club." Why does this work? You're not rattled. You're playful, unbothered, and subtly turning the tease back on her. You're showing that her opinion doesn't shake your confidence, and you're even inviting her to step up to your level. Test number 2, the last-minute change. She texts, "Can we meet an hour later?" Most men scramble to say yes, afraid to lose the date. Instead, try. "I've got plans later, but let's catch up another time if today doesn't work." Or, "I can do original time, but after that, I'm booked." This response signals that your time is valuable. You're not desperate or overly accommodating. You're showing that you have a life, and she'll need to fit into it, not the other way around. This instantly raises your perceived value. Test number 3, the jealousy trigger. She mentions, "My friend Mark is hilarious. He always makes me laugh." The average guy gets jealous or tries to compete. The Machiavellian response: smile and say, "Glad you have friends to keep you entertained while I'm busy." Or, "Mark sounds like a good guy. Maybe he can join us for karaoke night." You're not threatened. You're secure, even a little amused. This shows bulletproof confidence and makes her realize you're not easily shaken by competition. In fact, you're so secure, you can joke about it. Test number 4, the challenge to your opinion. She says, "You really believe that? That's ridiculous." Most men backpedal or soften their stance. Instead, calmly reply, "Absolutely. I don't expect everyone to agree with me." Or, "That's what makes life interesting. Different perspectives." You're not seeking her approval or trying to win her over. You're standing your ground without being combative. This projects strength and independence, 2 qualities that are magnetic in any power dynamic. Test number 5, the push for commitment or reaction. She asks, "So what are we?" Or, "Where is this going?" Most men panic or dodge. The Machiavellian approach is direct but relaxed. "I'm enjoying what we have right now. Let's see where it goes." Or, "I like spending time with you. I'm not in a rush to label things." You're not pressured. You're honest, clear, and comfortable with uncertainty. This shows you're in control of your emotions and intentions, and you're not going to be forced into a corner. The psychology behind these responses. Each of these phrases works because it communicates the same underlying message. I am unshakable. I respect myself. I don't need your approval, but I enjoy your company. This is the essence of Machiavellian power. Projecting calm authority, never chasing validation, and always maintaining your frame. Notice how none of these responses are aggressive or disrespectful. The goal isn't to win or put her down. It's to show that you're not easily manipulated, that you're comfortable in your own skin, and that you're willing to walk away if your standards aren't met. This is what separates the men who get tested and fail from the men who turn every test into an opportunity to deepen attraction and respect. But there's another level. Once you've mastered these responses, you can actually use her tests to your advantage, flipping the dynamic so she's the one chasing you. Let's talk about how to turn these moments into powerful opportunities for attraction. Passing a woman's test is good, but turning that test into a spark of attraction, that's next level. This is where most men stop. They're just relieved to have survived the challenge. But Machiavellian thinkers know that every test is a golden opportunity to flip the script and make her see you in a new, magnetic light. The secret? Playful dominance, reframing, and escalation. Let's start with playful dominance. When she teases you, don't just defend yourself. Tease her right back, but with a smile. If she says, "You're so full of yourself," you can grin and reply, "Confidence looks good on me, doesn't it?" This isn't about being arrogant. It's about showing you're comfortable leading the dance. You're not just reacting. You're inviting her into your world, making the interaction fun and unpredictable. Next, reframing. When she throws a curveball, don't accept her frame. Create your own. If she challenges your opinion, instead of getting defensive, say, "I like that you think differently." It keeps things interesting. Suddenly, her challenge becomes a compliment to both of you. You're showing that you're not threatened by disagreement. In fact, you welcome it. This projects maturity and emotional intelligence, qualities that are rare and highly attractive. Finally, escalation. When you pass a test, use that momentum to deepen the connection. If she tries to make you jealous, and you respond with calm confidence, follow up with a playful invitation. "You know, you're fun to banter with. We should do this over coffee sometime." You're taking control, moving things forward on your terms. The real power move is this. You're not just surviving her tests. You're using them as springboards to create chemistry and intrigue. You're showing her that you're not just another guy trying to pass. You're a man who thrives under pressure, who turns challenges into opportunities, and who's always one step ahead. This is how you shift from being tested to being truly desired. But to make this your default, you need a code, a set of unbreakable rules that keep you in control no matter what. Let's lay out the Machiavellian code for never losing your frame. If you want to be untouchable in any interaction, you need more than clever words or quick comebacks. You need a code, a set of rules that anchor you, no matter how intense the test or how high the stakes. This is the Machiavellian code for never losing your frame. Internalize these, and you'll find yourself commanding respect without even trying. Rule number 1, never seek approval. Approval is a trap. The moment you start chasing validation, you hand over your power. Instead, operate from self-respect. If someone doesn't vibe with your truth, let them walk. Rule number 2, respond, don't react. Reacting is emotional. Responding is strategic. When you're tested, pause, breathe, and choose your words with intention. This shows composure and control. Rule number 3, hold your boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're standards. If someone tries to push you, calmly assert your limits. People respect what you respect about yourself. Rule number 4, embrace disagreement. You don't need to win every argument. In fact, being unafraid of disagreement shows strength. Stand by your beliefs, but never force them on others. Rule number 5, be willing to walk away. The ultimate power is the freedom to leave. If someone disrespects your frame or tries to manipulate you, don't argue, exit. Your presence is valuable, and you decide where it goes. These rules aren't just tactics, they're a mindset. When you live by them, you become the rare person who can't be shaken, manipulated, or controlled. And that's when you stop playing the game and start mastering it. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about how to make this transformation permanent. You've just unlocked the secrets most men will never know. The hidden psychology behind women's tests, the Machiavellian mindset, and the exact words and rules that shift power in your favor. Remember, it's not about memorizing lines, but embodying unshakable confidence and strategic self-respect. When you master these principles, you move from being tested to being truly untouchable. If you're ready to claim that power, drop "I choose power" in the comments. Subscribe for more forbidden knowledge, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your transformation starts now. Don't let it slip away.